Hi there and welcome to She Spice. Diddy and Jay Z could have been pondering relaxing along with Panther Wright spilling more tea like crazy. We've all heard the tales about Jay Z and Diddy purportedly meddling with specialist vocations. Currently, Puma is implying that Kanye West may be next under a microscope. Panther Wright has caused a commotion by stating that Jay Z and Diddy are powerful figures who control the music business, and any individual who has teamed up with them has confronted unfortunate results. She proceeds to guarantee that various craftsmen have unveiled the manipulative activities of these industry chiefs that eventually brought about the death of their professions. Puma firmly suggests that Kanye West, who has been candid about the supposed vindictive activities of these industry regulators, may now end up in a dubious situation with no salvation from their impact. I really intend what assessment I need help with. I wasn't right. I was pretty much as right as my mom, Kanye West, has not kept down charging the tea on the obscure side of Hollywood, causing a ruckus big time. The business is nervous, attempting to adapt to every one of the sensations he's dropping. Consistently brings another disclosure, and the web is humming with individuals hungry for more. Prepare for a wild ride since this thrill ride is going to get significantly harsher. You get what I'm talking about. They have some control over Shaq. They have some control over Charles Barkley. They have some control over LeBron James, and they have some control over Jay Z and Beyoncé. In his most popular tirade, the magnate Kanye West wrenches things up a bit. He's out there transparently discussing the entire Hollywood pennant scheme in this peculiar clasp that is blowing some people's minds left and right and clutching your seat. He even raises his own mom, driving home his firm faith in these wild events. My mom was penance for me too. You see, no doubt Michael Jordan what might be said about him. His daddy, right? Kanye immovably remains by his thoughts with regards to this issue and doesn't keep down. Prior to offering these remarks, he clarified that he's not reluctant to criticize any of Hollywood's miscreants or elites. Kanye's thoughts have ignited interest and worry as he brings up issues about the activities of Hollywood and its supposed practices. One individual remarked, "Yeah, please be cautious. Hi EPPE who love the master and talk reality. Took my children from me until I battled for a straight year video and sound report of each experience, regardless of how little that will be, is simply the main explanation. And God, who is your sponsorship, will bring their children home too. We hear you. I realize you're coming clean. Continue to talk about it. They will ultimately exhibit themselves to lay it out plainly." Kanye accepts that Hollywood has command over specific people, and these individuals dread that their friends and family may be forfeited by the business. He even referenced his own mom's passing in 2007, proposing she be forfeited like the late dad of Michael Jordan and the departed children of Bill Cosby and Dr. Dre. Bill Cosby, his child, right? Dr. Dre, his child? You out in Hollywood. As per Kanye, the thought process behind Hollywood's activities is about control. He accepts that the business's elites control individuals as well as subject them to mental torment to control the damage they need to adapt and damage. And God cherished me. You comprehend, they hit me. He went considerably further by uncovering probably the greatest names in the business who, he guarantees, are impacted by sinister powers. Amazingly, one of these names was Priest Lou Farrakhan, who protected Kanye in a video posted on a site. Regardless of the protection, Kanye brought his name in with a general mishmash, adding to the caution and interest encompassing these revelations. You understand what I'm talking about, and only for Pastor Farrakhan. I love you, however, the manner in which you read that I accepted that as a slight. You understand what I'm talking about. I don't take any discourtesy from anyone, so we should get on the telephone. How about we work that out to be sure Kanye isn't the one in particular who holds such convictions? There are sources that propose Hollywood's elites will take extraordinary, drastic courses of action to keep up with command over specialists. Jamie Foxx has specifically been vocal about this issue. He revealed the presence of abnormal and disgusting gatherings facilitated by the elites, revealing insight into their supposed strategies to apply impact and control. It's a pool party that is ludicrous. I couldn't say whether you know who that is. The video immediately became a web sensation, drawing broad consideration. However, it likewise created problems among Jamie and the elite. Jamie guaranteed that he recorded and reported these occasions in the video. The disclosures in the video have left individuals both charmed and worried about the thing that could have been occurring in the background on these occasions. Yet one individual coordinated this disclosure towards Diddy. He composed ditties, which has been referred to for quite a while. It must be valid on the off chance that it's been an inquiry for this long and individuals who've been around him have these accounts, as indicated by Jamie Foxx. These gatherings were a long way from customary get-togethers. They had a particular reason, supposedly. Hollywood elites coordinated these occasions with an unmistakable rationale to control craftsmen who opposed their impact or wouldn't consent to their requests. The elites would bait these specialists into going to the gatherings as a way to apply their influence and oversee them. The truth is that you are clearing up rooms that have quite recently engaged in sexual relations, or see pressing a J on the tables. The following day, during the 90s, Terrible Kid Records took off to progress in the hip bounce industry under the authority of Shade Diddy Brushes anyway. Previous Terrible Kid craftsman Mace, as of late revealed insight into a more obscure side of Diddy that imparted dread in the hearts of his own performers. In a noteworthy meeting, Mace unveiled the disrupting. How did he exhilarate when affected by an air where even the most confident craftsman would be scared by his erratic activities? So what precisely unfolded when Diddy became inebriated? And how could it influence the elements in a Terrible Kid? Mace offers an insider's viewpoint. We've all seen Diddy's responses. When he's had a couple of such a large number, he appears to lose his self-control, and when inebriated, he participates in conduct that can be portrayed as more than curious, contrasted with his level-headed self. The circumstances have now heightened altogether, with various superstars approaching to share why they dread an intoxicated Diddy eyes. Sibling eyes I comprehend that during the mid-1990s, the Awful Kid record was one of the prevailing powers in the music business. All hail to artists such as the late and extraordinary famous Huge, Mary J. Blige, Lil Kim, Confidence, Evans, Craig Mack, and obviously Mace were two of the most unmistakable stars related to the Awful Kid record possessed by Puff Daddy. However, in the mid-2000s, he passed on the band because of the peculiar way of behaving of Diddy. Not just with him, but with the other known specialists of the band too, who put him in suits and made them compose verses for themselves. Took all that distributing, and like damn, a constant flow of hits from Terrible Kid Records raged dance floors and radio broadcasts at their rush hour. What's more, Diddy's protégés managed the television. Wireless transmissions with conspicuous recordings that included heaps of blasts and sparkly suits. Even a Terrible Kid contrast the menu video with mightn't no one at any point. Hold me down and afterward Awful Kid. The tone's so early, yet there were cloudy things happening behind the brilliant drapery, and tales were flying about how Diddy treated his artists. Looking puffy may be the objective for anyone going no place. An unbelievably high level of Terrible Kid performers kicked the bucket. Youthful failed or invested huge energy in the slammer. As the years passed, he said the target of a Terrible Kid is ability. Likewise, an unbalanced level of Diddy's previous performers have deserted their vocations to give themselves to religion. Yet the inquiry is the reason. What precisely did they see? Craig Mack and Mace were the debut recording craftsmen for Terrible Kid Records. Macintosh's vocation appeared to be moving upward, however. At that point, it quickly declined. His profession might have been ill-fated from the very start. As indicated by doubters, yet no one realizes till date that the main motivation is that Diddy shoved Craig Mack to the side when he found the famous Large. For that, he even attempted to K Craig. I won't be staying here and going in the studio the entire night consistently, however, and I ain't seeing anything from it. Craig Mack's actual appearance was likewise an issue, as he was the zinger of monstrous remarks in hip-jump media his entire life. This was, in a real sense, excessively discourteous for Macintosh to deal with the public, who even slammed him for his race, and it was all because of Diddy, since Diddy never came to protect Craig as he got his other objective big deal. One more element that is important here is that Diddy's idea for monetarily feasible rap was something that Macintosh was reluctant to embrace. Diddy's disgusting gay gatherings, his wild drinking, and, surprisingly, his controlling craftsmen were all unsatisfactory to Mama. Macintosh conflicted with Diddy, and this is where his defeat began. And weakly, he at last left Terrible Kid Records. Not just that, he further guaranteed that somebody was attempting to K him. He said, I got 2 or 3 dangers, you know. several passers-by on the roads. We as a whole obtained some much-needed education here that Diddy was behind these foul dangers. However, this occurrence certainly satisfied Diddy's eagerness, and he made Biggie perhaps the most famous rapper in the music business. Yet Craig Mack was not somebody who could sit quietly and see the things turning out badly. He chose to return out in the open through a subscribe She Spice for more videos.